All right, today on the Metalzine channel, we're going to talk about our favorite drummers, or at least some of them.
Hello there. It comes out to me as being brutal, melodic.
You know, regular Slayer beat.
Are we fucking nuts tonight?
People are demons. People are evil. We create evil.
Nobody should be at a concert worshiping Satan.
Because everyone seems extreme.
What? No warning?
You know, we're people too.
Tough to be first class when you're white trash. Roach class all the way.
What?
Mine, I have a list of 10 drummers, not necessarily in any order. They're just drummers that I really, I enjoy their music a lot, mostly because of the bands that they play in. And Mike, what are yours?
I have a top 10 list as well. Mine is in order from 10 to 1, with 1 being my favorite. I don't think we have any of the same drummers, so this should be a nice variety. Alright, so I'll start off with my number 10. It's Mario from Gojira. And we'll add clips for each drummer as well.
So what is it that you like about him? Why is that why is he on your list?
Oh, I mean, it's mostly for the band. I just love the grooves and the progginess of Gojira. Awesome band.
Okay, one of my top 10, I went with Richard Christy, because Richard Christy has played in some bands that I've thoroughly enjoyed over the years and still continue to enjoy. He played drums for Death, Control Denied. He played in Iced Earth, and he also played in Demons and Wizards. Demons and Wizards was a collaboration between Iced Earth and Blind Guardian, and his style really stands out to me. He also plays drums on the Howard Stern show. I think he still does that, among other things. These aren't the only projects that he's been involved in, but these are just some of my favorites.
Alright, so number 9 for me is Anthony from Augury, from Montreal, Canada. He's a very jazzy drummer. Augury's probably a top 10 band of mine, progressive death metal. He has a bunch of, there's one song from, not their last album, but the one before, where he does a really cool jazzy drum intro. They just had a album come out, I think it was April or May of this year, and yeah, it's pretty amazing. He's a really talented drummer.
Next on my list is Tim Young. This guy is a super tight drummer, super tight. I first saw him when he toured with All That Remains. He did a fantastic job, and his playing actually changed the sound and style of the band a little bit, in my opinion. It gave them a lot heavier, more a faster, more staccato style. He's also the drummer for, he was the drummer for Divine Heresy, which also had members from Fear Factory. And This guy, when you hear him or see him play, you'll understand why he's in my list, and hopefully we can find some really good clips of him.
Alright, so number 8 for me is a very, very underrated drummer. Most of you probably haven't heard him. Darren Cesca. He plays in
Is he
Goratory. What's that?
Is that a J-pop drummer? Is he like a Japanese pop band?
No, definitely not.
Oh, okay.
This is quite the opposite.
K-pop?
No. Goratory, he plays in Hideous, Deformity, Burn in Silence, and he also played in one of Arsis' albums. They have Sean Priest right now, but Darren Cesca, I believe, was on Arsis' album from 2006. I really like the drum fills and intro they did for Overthrown. It's very jazzy, mixed with a pretty tech death. Very, very underrated drummer.
So one of the bands, my dog just bumped the camera stand. One of the bands I've been listening to a lot lately is Trivium. I've shared a stage with Trivium many years ago. That's what got me started listening to them. I've seen them live a few times, and Alex Bent is the current drummer for Trivium, and those guys, a lot of people in metal tend to look at bands like that as being more like mainstream, more metal core, whatever you want to call it. But I respect those guys as musicians, and the drum work is yet another thing that stands out to me in some of the newer material.
Yeah, I really haven't heard too much Trivium, but I haven't heard directly, but I've heard good things about them from fans. So number 7 for me, I'm actually wearing their shirt for Dying Fetus, is Trey Williams. Dying Fetus, I think they didn't have Trey Williams until a few years after they started. They started more of a hardcore band, but they play more kind of slam, brutal, tech death type stuff. Trey Williams, I've actually seen Trey play on stage with Dying Fetus probably like 6 or 8 times, and Seattle, Oregon, Portland, Cincinnati, Louisville. I got to hang out with him for like an hour at one of their shows, and he gave me a stick that he used for one of their whole tours. It's pretty awesome. Really talented drummer, really fucking fast. Devout Atrocity, about a minute in that song, those fucking double bass kick drums are just so fucking fast. It's pretty amazing.
So next for me is going to be Van Williams, who played in Nevermore from 1994 to 2011. Nevermore was one of my favorite bands for a long time, and They still are. I love listening to Nevermore. It's not just the drumming that really makes it for me, but the whole the group together as a whole just really stands out to me. As some of you may know, Nevermore split up several years ago, and Worrell Dane from Nevermore and Sanctuary just passed away this past year. So this, I think it it might have been the end, like toward the end of 2017, beginning of 2018. I can't remember the exact date, but yeah, Van Williams, great drummer. His work in Nevermore was amazing.
Nevermore had such a great sound. They had so much talent just all around, I think.
Yeah, they did.
Amazing band. Let's see. 10, 9, 8. So number 6 for me is Gene Hogan. I shouldn't have to say much about him. He's played with so many amazing extreme metal bands like Death.
Gene Hoagland's an amazing drummer.
Yeah, just
but,
overall.
Yeah, the only reason why he's not on my list is mostly because I wanted to throw some guys in here later on that I knew wouldn't be on his. So Gene Hoagland's like a human metronome. I mean, he's
I think he's releasing a DVD soon. Some of his techniques and some of his drum cams and stuff like that.
A lot of these guys have played and either contributed in the studio or contributed in writing to a number of bigger, well-known bands. And these guys are professional drummers. They're not just in bands. They're also professional drummers and do all kinds of things outside of whatever band they play with.
Yeah, like some of his favorites, like Nevermore. He'd be amazing in stuff outside of metal, like Anthony from Augury would be amazing at like jazz drumming.
Yeah.
This isn't just particularly hard hitters or very fast drummers. These are really amazing, great field drummers and stuff like that.
So I have 4 more on my list. Brandon Park from Allegan. Dude, that guy, super tight drummer. I love the all-around sound of that band, and it's another one of those bands where there's talent all around. But his playing style really contributes to the sound of that band.
Number 5 for me is Frost from Satyricon, 1349, and Gorgoroth. Probably the really, really hard hitter, very fucking fast. I mean, he's huge in the black metal community. Just all around amazing drummer. I'll find a good clip of him, but yeah, he's fucking awesome.
So next on my list, I have Hans Van Dahl. Hans is the drummer for Sabaton. And the reason that I picked them is because they were coming to Louisville a while back, and I wanted to see what the band sounded like. I listened to a few of their songs. I liked them, but they weren't anything that I would have necessarily put into regular rotation on like what I listen to like at work or when I'm driving or whatever. I didn't really give them a whole lot of a chance. Started listening to them a little bit more whenever I was going to actually see them live. And when I saw their live performance, every member of that band just really, really puts on a hell of a show. Every member. And really, really turned me on to that band. And I got to see them live again in a smaller venue. And, Hans as a drummer is another one that makes he really contributes to the sound of that band. For me, there's a lot of drummers that don't really, that they keep time. They're not necessarily contributing a lot to the overall sound of a band or what appeals to me about that band. But he's a drummer that does that.
A similar type of situation, which anyone that knows what I listen to wouldn't be surprised. Sebastian Lanser from Obscura. He's really great progressive death metal drummer. Really great with prog. He's great at playing some kind of offbeat grooves and odd time signatures. Just really fun to listen. Fun drummer to listen to.
Okay, I'm not sure if I'm going to get this guy's name right or not. I have not seen them live. I would love to, but Dirk Meyer Bearhorn, and he is the drummer from Orden Ogan. And Orden Ogan is a very unique sounding band to me. Their style ranges all over the place. I don't like to fit a lot of bands into like specific genres, but they're one that I really don't know what they would fit into. They're metal, but we'll get some good clips of these guys to put in this video as well, and you'll see what I'm talking about with him. They're a very unique sounding band to me.
Alright, so number 3 on my list, not too surprising, Spencer Prewitt from Vancouver, Canada. He plays with Archspire. They do some fucking nasty blast beats, grooves, stuff like that. He does some crazy grooves at like 350 beats per minute. Just amazing drummer. You can check out, he puts out videos regularly of some of his playthrough videos. Really great drummer. I think they just had an album come out a few months ago. Their third album, I believe. I've seen them live. Really fucking skilled band too, just in general.
Matt Bowles made it onto my list for his work in Byzantine. I don't know a whole lot about him. They have quite a discography. Those guys actually made it really, I'm not gonna say like really big, but they did exceptionally well with no label support or anything for a long time. His drumming, he's a very tight drummer. Matt Bowles working Byzantine. Byzantine's a band that I respect a lot for the amount of hard work that they put in. I'd love to see them live. I don't think that they're coming around anytime soon, but just based on watching videos of them play live, that puts him on my list.
So my number 2 is Sean Reinert. He's mostly known for playing with Cynic. They put out a bunch of awesome fucking demos back in the late 80s when death metal was really starting to become pretty popular, especially in Florida. They're also from Florida. You had like Obituary Death. He played in Death on the album Human. Pretty amazing album. I think it was like 1991 or 93 with Chuck Schuldiner. But Cynic, they was releasing those demos, and they just came out of nowhere, just very jazz-based death metal. Atheist was doing similar things, and
Atheist had a lot more jazz influence in their music, didn't they?
Yeah, it's kind of like Cynic. I mean, Cynic, they had some songs that were just straight jazz. He also played in Portal, which was basically Cynic, the Portal tape album or EP. But he no longer plays for Cynic. Just killer grooves. He did a lot more extreme metal in his early days, and he started slowing down and doing more jazzy stuff as he got older.
Again, like I said, drummers that I picked are mostly based on bands that I enjoy listening to. So, last on my list is Scott Buchanan from Unleash the Archers. These guys they're amazing, in my opinion. Just his ability to keep up with a fast tempo and stay prominent in the band. He has a very prominent sound in this band. They're great.
So my number 1 is quite expected, Hannes Grossmann. I think he stopped playing with Obscura in 2014, but he's ex-Obscura, Necrophagus. I think he still plays for Blood Science and bands like that. Just amazing all-around drummer. I don't play drums too much. I do a little bit for my own band, but I like watching his tutorial videos. Really skilled drummer. Really precise in the way that he plays, the techniques that he uses, like the hybrid technique, things like that.
So this will give you guys a little bit of insight into what types of music we both listen to, and it's pretty opposite ends of a spectrum for the most part. So hopefully you enjoy the clips. Comment, let us know what drummers you guys like, or if there's anyone that you think that we should talk about or that we should go more in depth with. Let us know.
Rock on.
Oh. This is gonna have to be edited out.
Okay.
Dog fucked me up. I'll blame it on that.